How well can comics help children develop a reading culture?
I mean, globally right now, comic books are being argued to be put into schools as a teaching tool. There are a lot of education NGOs and partnership companies that are looking for that. Currently, we are in talks with the Education Partnership Center in Lagos, Nigeria here to see how our historical comic books can be taught in schools. And as, because history has been taken out of the curriculum in the government, I don't know whose
Whose idea that
smart
was?
idea that was, but it's been taken out of the curriculum and merged into civics on a granular scale, on a micro
Yeah.
scale, not as if we're proud to teach our current youth and oncoming generations what happened in the past. And if you don't learn what happened in the past, you can make those mistakes in the future.
I feel, comics are big on, I mean, they're big leap in education, especially for the younger ones, and, uh, and in general, younger, older, whoever, like, I mean, I feel like it's a good way to learn.
Okay. What's the potential of comics? I'm imagining to create a comic. We are thinking, one should be thinking about script writers,
Yes,
illustrators,
definitely.
um,
Colorist,
colorists.
editor, graphic designer, layout for prints.
And those are all professions,
yes, there are different lines of
standalone
it can
lines
take
of profession.
at least 5 to 6, at the minimum 4 if you have someone doing multiple jobs to create one comic book. Maybe even 7 or more, depending on what
Well,
you're going
7
for.
professionals.
Yes.
So we're talking about job creation here.
Definitely, the Nigerian comic book industry has the potential to create value for its customers and its creators to the point whereby if it's invested in properly by the right parties, being government and private sector, people could feed themselves off it. I know that we spend a pretty sum to ascertain the quality we have for your Kyoto's Chronicles, and if we're only doing it more frequently, I don't see why anyone would have to have a regular 9 to 5 that they are not happy about
Yeah,
if they enjoy drawing or coloring comics.
yeah, and you'll find out there's a huge brain drain happening on our creators, on our artists and illustrators. A lot of foreign companies actually conscript our creators to do projects. Like Etubi Onucheyo, he does colors for Street Fighter with Edwin Hong. So we find out that there is such amazing talent here, and they're not utilized. Many a time, people study creative arts in school, and then when they finish studying creative arts, they wear a tie and they work in a bank, which is ridiculous when they could have industry here that actually can utilize their talent.
When I look at the way people rush these movies created by the famous comic characters, it's amazing. Some of them, I mean, multi-millions of dollars from all these movies. Spider-Man,
Fantastic Four,
Fantastic
X-Men,
Four, X-Men,
Avengers.
Avengers. We're talking about a whole lot of money now. I mean, whoever came up with the idea of turning, I think it started with Superman in the 70s.
Superman is the first superhero.
Yeah, it started with Superman in the 70s, which was a major hit.
No, actually, Superman was created in 1939. But the 70s is sort of the silver age where
That was when the
it
movies,
just,
yeah,
yes,
the movies came
Christopher
out
Reeves
in the 70s.
stapled him as, the number one superhero of all times.
So, I mean, can we turn some of your characters into movies? That we're talking about many years ahead, right? We still have a long way to go.
I mean, it's not really that long, to be honest. It is really not that long. Why? First of all, when we create, when we have a creator, his name is Ayodele Elegba. He created a project called Strike Guard. Now, Strike Guard is the most realistic superhero I know, because his story is a story that can happen to anyone. He was a Unilag boy. He liked the girl. The girl was dating a Capone of a cultist clan. The cultists came in, they killed him, they threw him in a pit. The pit they threw him in was the former burial ground of a deity called Ajagbeja. He becomes superhuman. Normal jazz story you hear in Nigeria, and the way he exhibits his powers are very subtle, very realistic. So creating movies, because of obviously we know that we have problems with special effects, and we have problems with a certain degree of expertise or equipment. Our cinematic universe can build, We can build it from a back end, maybe like a TV series that builds up to when he becomes a superhero. Then we can go explosive with the effects, and so these are things that, because of the way media is now, we don't need to go the whole 9 yards like the former industry did, of going for like 50 years or 35 years before we can create variations of what we're doing. We can. Right now, I feel like it's the right time to create. I feel it's the right time to be daring with things you want to do. Like a lot of times, people tell you that, oh, you want to create a movie, you want to create a game, you want to create a cartoon. How many people have read the comic? And I'm like, no. The truth is that, in the honest sense, comics they're harder to consume than a movie would, because you have to read it, and the reading culture in Nigeria is low.
Very.
Facts. So if someone should play a game on an iPad that had my character, it would be a stronger angle from that game to take him down to my comics. So, yeah. So
That's smart.
we're
The
excited
reason why
about
people
giving
might
our
want to
characters.
say that is because they want you to follow the traditional modes of how it happened prior to you.
Exactly.
Prior to you, the Western world made comic books, moved to cartoons, and then they moved to games.
Yeah.
Whereas in today's world, you can just start with the game and then go
Yeah.
backwards and then go back forward with the movie.
Yeah,
You don't have to do it the way
You don't have to do it their way.
they did it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, tell me, I've always been curious. How are comics created? These are all drawings, right?
Yes.
So you have individuals who draw
Yes.
each of these.
Panels.
Huh?
Panels.
What do you call them?
A frame
Okay, so this
to the regular person.
so this is a frame.
Yes, but to the comic book developer, it's called a panel. Yes.
Okay, panel. So, wow. So how many pictures are here? How many drawings are here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 frames, but 7 panels to us.
No, how many drawings are in this comic?
Oh, I wouldn't. I wouldn't
You're
know.
not sure.
Possibly under 1,000,
Wow.
maybe 700.
This small comic. How about this? How many?
Dark Age, that should have about 24 pages, an average of maybe 6 panels on the page, 6 times 24.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
So that's a lot of. Run me through that. That's a lot. Is that a lot of work for?
yeah, it's
How many illustrators did
Yeah.
you use for this comic?
We used one illustrator,
yeah,
but then after that, we had to get a colorist.
yeah,
We had to get a graphic designer. I had to edit. We had to do the lettering. And then the overall coming together, it's kind of like the assembling of a car. You make the door,
yeah.
you make the fender, you make the bumper, but you have to assemble it to make sure it's a finished product that works.
Wow. So you've got so how many illustrators did you use here?
This was one illustrator, Ibrahim Ganiyu.
One illustrator.
Yeah,
Okay.
one
So
illustrator.
now this one illustrator
Yeah,
drew all this.
all this, and that's
How long did it take
it
him?
took him a while.
Eh?
It took him like 2 months. Dark Age started in 1999.
It took him like 2 months
It took him like 2 months maybe, and
to
it
draw
was,
this.
yeah, it was called. But our processes since 1999 obviously have escalated.
Okay.
So now it's still one illustrator that does our comics, but with the kind of condition we put him under, he can finish in about 2 weeks.
This is amazing
Yeah.
talent.
Definitely.
For somebody to draw all this, I mean, it's amazing talent.
Yeah,
Amazing talent.
Yeah.
Now,
they have a very strong imagination.
all he does is to draw.
He's the creator as well.
But somebody else is a script writer who writes the
Oh,
story.
Yes.
Somebody else
Yeah,
writes the story.
It was written by Ayodele. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got a script writer
Yeah.
who writes the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the illustrator picks up
Turns it into still image.
the
Yeah,
story
brings
and
it
then
to life.
turns it into.
Yeah. And it's
interesting.
amazing. It's amazing how you can just see words, and then 2 weeks later, three weeks later, you're beginning to see those words actually turn into, it becomes photographic. It's nostalgic, man.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, keep at it.
Yeah.
Great prospects.
Thank you.
Lots of work to do.
Thank you for having us on your show.
Thank you very much. It's been nice having you
Thank you
on
so
the
much.
channel's book club.
Yeah.
Nice chatting
It's
with
an
you.
honor being on here. Comic books being on a traditional book show, it's a big deal for me.
Yeah.